Hey everyone, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review and be sure to follow. Folks, it's great to be back. I went on vacation with the family this week. It was spring break and my daughter was out of school, so we ended up going to Washington, D.C. to check out the cherry blossoms and much more. But it's good to be back, and there was a lot of major crypto news this week, and today we got a big announcement from Charles Schwab. So let's kick it off. I want to start with the Bitcoin chart. So right now we are in no man's land. It is boring, sideways chop. I mean, it is so boring, and we're waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. Bears are saying we got another leg down, and it's certainly possible, where we could have another flush down to the 50Ks, right? Maybe Bitcoin finds a bottom around 54K or so, or this relief rally continues and then goes a bit higher before rolling over to lows. We're going to have to wait and see. Obviously, it's uncertain times with the Iran war, and you never know. President Trump could tweet something out, and all of a sudden markets dump or they pump. That's the situation we're in right now, which really sucks. I wish this wasn't the case, but don't be surprised if we dump down. And I know saying that is going to trigger a lot of people because they want to know the certainty, the definitive move, but we are looking at probabilities. When it comes to investing, we look at probabilities and which scenario has the higher probability of playing out. So we're going to have to be patient. Right now on the daily chart, we're still seeing higher highs and higher lows being established. Now, again, it's boring sideways chop, but we haven't dumped down to where the move that we saw start in the past month has been invalidated. So patience is the key here. I think it's better we see the market make a move versus sideways chop, because let's say we dump down to the lows. I think we're going to see a quick V-shaped recovery. I think that dip is going to be bought. That bottom is going to be bought. If it continues, that'll be great. I'll take a little bit of profits off the table. Once we definitely hit those bear market bottoms, if the bottom is not completely in, I'll be backing the truck up to buy as much as possible. So just letting you guys know what's my strategy. Obviously, do your own research and what's best for you financially. Now, today we were supposed to get some sort of deal on the Clarity Act, and the 48 hours window has passed because Paul Grewal, chief legal officer at Coinbase, on April 1st, a couple of days ago, said on Fox that he expected there to be a compromise on the stablecoin yield situation between the banks and the crypto industry. But unfortunately, that, again, deadline has passed. So this kind of sucks. We've been seeing a lot of back and forth, and it's been pretty frustrating to hear statements of, "Hey, we're close," and then we get nothing. So unfortunately, nothing now. But hopefully, we can get something next week and put this behind us and get this Clarity Act passed out of the Senate, because the time is running out here. And if this goes too far into April and then into May, we're going to have a time issue because this thing has to go through the markup. It has to then get voted on. You guys know the sausage making process in DC is slow like molasses, and we got to get this compromise done because this bill will be stuck. And we know the midterm elections is later this year. So this thing has to get done by Q2. If not, we're looking at 2027. So let's see what happens next week. I think we absolutely need something by next week. But nevertheless, folks, we are seeing incredible adoption of crypto by TradFi institutions around the globe. Well, Charles Schwab plans to offer spot Bitcoin Ether trading and launch that in the first half of 2026. So it looks like this is coming in Q2, this quarter that we're in now. And we've heard since last year their CEO talk about launching a stablecoin as well as offering crypto trading, right? All the dominoes are falling. They're kind of late to the game, along with Morgan Stanley and, of course, Vanguard, which capitulated after being a detractor. But huge news here, more on-ramps being built for the asset class. So this is why I'm bullish long term. Right now, we're in a bear market, and it's painful, it's boring, and there's not much happening. But I believe as we have these on-ramps being built by these massive institutions across the globe, and we get the Clarity Act passed eventually, I think that kicks off that super cycle. And I think we see one of the biggest bull runs ever, because you will have clear guidance, more capital can come in. And again, some of the biggest institutions are going to bring their clients and their clients' money into crypto. So, Charles Schwab plans to launch spot cryptocurrency trading for Bitcoin and Ether in the first half of 2026 through its Charles Schwab Premier Banking Unit. The firm has opened a waitlist for its new Schwab Crypto account, which will let clients buy and sell the two largest cryptocurrencies alongside their traditional investments. Schwab is leveraging its $11.9 trillion in client assets to compete with established crypto exchanges. Incredible, right, folks? And as you can imagine, a lot of that $11.9 trillion, not all of it, but certainly a big part of it will go into crypto because crypto has been performing well overall. I know precious metals within the past year has outperformed crypto, but when you look at the longer timeline, crypto has outperformed all other asset classes. It's the fastest horse in the race. And again, going back to my thesis of you get the regulations passed, a lot more capital is coming in, and it's not just the United States, it's globally. And many of these assets are hard cap, right? It's not like there's unlimited stock splits and all these things happening. No, it's hard cap, and a lot of the supply, especially for like Bitcoin, has been lost, right? There will only ever be 21 million, but the true supply, as far as what's available, with what's been lost, is less, right? Plus, the additional million that has to be mined, and then you have assets like Ethereum and Solana, where a lot of it is staked, and some may be lost as well, right? People who lost their private keys. So you have that supply and demand economics playing out. So huge news here. And the other big news of the week, folks, is Franklin Templeton launches crypto division with 250 Digital Acquisition. So this is a major acquisition by Franklin Templeton, which has $1.7 trillion of assets under management. Many of you may have caught my recent interview with the head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton, and they are, of course, competing with BlackRock and Fidelity and others. And they've been doing a lot with tokenization. They, of course, have crypto ETFs. And this acquisition right here, this is just proof that these companies believe in crypto. They're going all in. They're doing acquisitions, they're launching, they're testing, they're doing a lot. So Franklin Templeton is launching a dedicated cryptocurrency division, Franklin Crypto, anchored by its planned acquisition of crypto investment firm 250 Digital. The new unit will consolidate 250 Digital's liquid crypto strategies, formerly managed by CoinFund under leadership from ex-CoinFund executives, and Franklin Templeton's digital assets team to offer more active institutional focused crypto investments. Now, many of you may remember I interviewed Christopher Perkins a couple times from CoinFund, and I'm really happy for him with regards to this news, and I hope to have him back on the pod to talk about it. But huge for CoinFund and huge for Franklin Templeton as they are in the race, competing with BlackRock and the other folks. So part of the acquisition will be paid using the Benji tokens tied to Franklin Templeton's on-chain U.S. government money fund, signaling an experimental step toward using tokenized assets to settle mergers and acquisitions, with the deal expected to close in the second quarter of 2026. So this is the other amazing and profound aspect of this deal. They're using their tokenized money market fund to pay for this deal. That is fascinating. And I think a microcosm of what's to come in the future with tokenized assets and these assets being fungible and, on the blockchain trading 24/7 globally. It's fascinating. And then when you think about the ability to trade with atomic settlement, right? And it's happening 24/7 while you're sleeping. Maybe you have an AI agent doing some of this as well. It is just incredible. And again, just the tip of the iceberg, but huge news here, both for CoinFund as well as Franklin Templeton. Here's what Patrick Witt, the White House crypto advisor, said regarding this announcement. He said, congratulations to the founders, Christopher Perkins, as well as Seth Gins, on this exciting announcement. Expect to see a lot more headlines like this as digital assets are brought into the regulatory fold. Clarity would supercharge this. I think he's spot on. We've said it for a long time, guys. The Clarity Act will allow more capital, more investing and building and innovation to happen in the crypto industry. And, one of the things I we've been saying for a while, you're going to see crypto companies buying TradFi firms like Ripple and Coinbase have done, but also vice versa, TradFi firms buying crypto companies, right? And for these TradFi firms, it makes sense because it would take them years to go to the whole process of building this, right? They can simply go buy these firms and build out their arsenal of solutions and services. And this is not something new. We've seen in Web 2 with the likes of Google. Remember, Google bought YouTube, right? They didn't build YouTube. Then I believe even Google Maps, they bought a company that was building that technology and they rebranded it to Google Maps. That's just an example, right? You go out and you buy these different companies and build out your services and your network. So we're going to see a lot more, but once clarity is passed. Now, speaking of banks, SoFi announces 24/7 banking hub that blends traditional cash with crypto. Now, SoFi, kind of a modern era bank, very digitally focused. They are doing a lot with crypto, launching their own stablecoin and much more. So SoFi said it's launching SoFi Big Business Banking, a platform that lets companies manage US dollars and crypto, including stablecoins, within its regulated bank. The service aims to replace the current patchwork of banks, stablecoin issuers, and custodians by enabling 24/7 deposits, conversions into SoFi USD, that's their stablecoin, and instant movement of funds on blockchain networks such as Solana. Early partners, including MasterCard, Cumberland, Wintermute, Galaxy, BitGo, and Bullish, plan to use the system to move and settle transactions more efficiently, reflecting a broader push to merge traditional banking with blockchain infrastructure. Folks, I'm blown away by what's being built by these institutions. And if you're only focused on price, you're going to be turned off, you're going to be sick to your stomach, and you're going to get annoyed, right? But you got to look at this holistically, right? Get the 360 view. Look at what's being built. Look at the market structure, the clarity that's on the cusp of being passed. Look at the on-ramps being established around the globe. So when we are back in a bull market, this is where I'm calling again for that super cycle, right? Because we have some of the biggest on-ramps ever that we've seen in this crypto market. And again, we're just at the tip of the iceberg. We're still very early when it comes to that adoption curve and how long it takes for people to get on board and the on-ramps and the hubs and all these things that have to be built. Okay, folks, this episode is brought to you by iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to invest in cryptocurrencies as well as precious metals in an IRA where you get huge tax advantages. So you can invest in over 90 plus crypto assets, including Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, and much more. You can even get access to stablecoins like Circle's USDC, Ripple's RLUSD. And for precious metals, you get access to gold and silver. The great thing about the gold and silver product, it is fully backed. It is the actual asset. It's not paper, gold, and silver. So if you ever want to redeem that asset, you can do that. So not many platforms offer that, guys. So this is really great. And again, if this IRA setup gives you the huge tax advantages, you can buy and sell crypto, gold, and silver 24/7. It's low cost, no monthly fee. And if you have an existing 401k or IRA, you can simply roll it over to iTrust Capital's version. They also offer a great custody solution called Premium Custody Account. This uses institutional grade crypto custody. So we're talking Coinbase Prime, Fidelity Digital Assets, Fireblocks, right? And we know BlackRock uses Coinbase Prime. So you're getting tier 1 level custody solutions and you can sleep at night. So I believe this is the second safest way to custody your assets outside of self-custody with a hardware wallet where you control the private keys. So this is really great and it's a closed loop system. So even if someone hacks into your account, they can't withdraw. And that's really great. So you can rest at night and know your assets are safe. So you can get the same custody that the likes of BlackRock is getting via iTrust Capital. And folks, if you sign up using my link, you can get $100 funding bonus. I have an account with them. So check them out, guys. iTrust Capital. Go to itrustcapital.com/go/thinkingcrypto. The link will be in the description. Now, folks, big news for Coinbase. They won an initial bank regulator nod for a trust charter, so boosting their crypto custody push. So we're seeing a lot of crypto companies get these trust charters, essentially putting them on the path to becoming a bank, right? Now, not in the traditional sense, like a JP Morgan or anything like that, but having some of these bells and whistles and components that banks do have. And I believe the fact that crypto native companies are getting these, Ripple got one, and I believe there's more to come. They're going to be able to do a lot more and offer consumers a mix of the kind of the traditional banking services as well as with crypto. So you're going to see this convergence, and it's fascinating to see this play out. So Coinbase has received a conditional approval from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency for a national trust company charter, a key step toward becoming a federally regulated crypto custodian. The preliminary green light requires Coinbase to build out compliance systems, hire key staff, pass regulatory reviews, and demonstrate strong risk management and anti-money laundering controls before it can secure a full charter. A finalized charter will let Coinbase operate a non-insured national trust company focused on digital asset custody, supporting its push to generate steadier revenue from institutional clients beyond trading fees. So huge win here for Coinbase, and a huge win here for crypto companies. Again, they are not the only ones. Ripple got one, and I think there's some others as well. And there's, I'm sure, more approvals coming down the line. Speaking of Ripple, we got some big updates here. So Ripple adds crypto capabilities to its treasury platform. Corporate finance teams can now hold, track, and manage Bitcoin, XRP, and RLUSD alongside fiat in a single dashboard. Ripple continues to make some incredible updates to their platforms, and I think this is just going to bolster their business across the globe. In addition, global credit rating agency Kroll assigns Ripple Prime an investment grade triple B issuer rating. This is incredible. So, this is not a crypto rating. This is a business rating. So it's incredible to see these crypto companies get these type of things, and we're just seeing the convergence of crypto and TradFi, right? So very big win here, and you need these type of things to have TradFi institutions trust you, because this is the world they're used to, right? And they want to make sure that their assets and what they're doing and all their services are safe. Moving ahead, Europe's first blockchain IPO is here. France's new exchange is taking aerospace firm public on chain. Folks, this is the future. So no longer will companies go public on just simply stock exchanges. They're going to go on chain first. And you're going to be able to do a lot more with the tokenized stock. So France's Lightning Stock Exchange is preparing to host what could become Europe's first fully on-chain stock market debut, a step that brings tokenization into the IPO process. Lise, if I'm saying that right, LISE, plans to list French aerospace supplier ST Group on April 9th. ST Group's debut, if successful, could offer a blueprint for smaller firms, a cheaper and faster path to public markets within European rails or rules. So this is not just specifically to Europe, but it's going to happen across the globe, guys. And we're going to see more and more of this. I think as the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ go fully 24/7 with tokenization, which they've already started that process, we're going to start to see that here as well. There's no details on the blockchain that's going to be used, so we're going to have to wait for that. But very, very, very interesting, guys. And again, this is an example of what's to come. Now, speaking of tokenization, look who's educating and promoting tokenization, the IMF. This week, they tweeted out, tokenization is reshaping regulated finance by moving assets onto programmable ledgers, delivering efficiency gains by requiring strong policy and trust anchors to protect stability. And they put out a full write-up on it. It's just incredible. Guys, look how times have changed, right? Years ago, these people were questioning blockchain and Bitcoin, the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, and others. And now they're promoting it because this is the future. I'll say it for the millionth time. The future of capital markets, economies, and governments will all run on blockchain rails. Your ID, your finances, your payments, your contracts, everything will run on blockchain rails, guys. And that is where the puck is heading in. So this is where you want to make sure you have the long-term view on what's being built here. You're taking your bets and being patient. And I know it's rough to go through these roller coaster rides of the markets, but the markets are what they are. But, there's a saying, time in the markets is better than trying to time the market. So stay in the market. Obviously, if you have, financial needs or whatever you need to liquidate, you got to do what you got to do. But if your long-term goal is to make sure you are boosting up your retirement, trying to get a better return, you want to make sure you're taking your bets and buying at the right time, not buying tops. Like where we are at now, great time to buy. Obviously, do your research, expect that there could be more downside. But the point is, you're buying when there's blood on the streets, when people are scared, when people are giving up. That's the time to buy, right? It's same thing with stocks, same thing with real estate. That's the time to buy. Now, again, the caveat there is you need to do research and make sure you're buying the real estate in the right neighborhood, right? Or you're buying the right stock for the right company and things like it. There is some risk, right? But in general principles, when it comes to investing, now is the time. When we are in a bull market and there's euphoria and the price is going higher and higher, and it seems like it's not going to stop. That's time you want to start looking to exit the market. And I had to learn that lesson, and I'm trying to share that with you guys, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't as yet. Please support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon, grab a copy. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto and blockchain technology. It is packed with tons of insights and expert commentary, so that's what makes it unique from other crypto courses. And right now we have a bear market discount. Use the code BEAR, BEAR, at checkout to get 50% off the price of the course, guys. So huge discount. Again, use the code BEAR, BEAR, at checkout to get that discount at mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.